How's it going, guys? Jose back again with another video on Hear Me Raw, and today really quickly I want to talk to you guys about the Motorola Edge Plus. Now this phone right here is amazing. I have to say it's my most favorite phone that I've used to date. The phone before that was my most favorite phone, I would have to say, was the Moto X Pure Edition. If you guys have been following me for a while, that phone, I had it, I got it ahead of time before everybody else, and I made videos on it, so that got my channel a lot of views. And that phone was just so great. That phone, you could customize it. It had a big screen, dual front-facing speakers, you could customize it. Good battery life, it had some downsides, but the package, how it felt in the hand and how you could use it one-handed, even though it had a big screen, was just amazing. And at that time, Motorola was still owned by, actually no, Lenovo was the one that came out with that one. But there was a time when Motorola was owned by Google. That was my favorite time. I loved it because at that point, Motorola was on top of updates. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Today, we're talking about the Motorola Edge Plus. Why is this my new favorite phone? Just because Motorola has come a long way. The fact that the last couple of phones that they had, they really focused on the mods, the Moto mods, and the Moto mods were great. When I first got the Moto Z, I was like, yo, this could be the future of phones right here. You get a phone that's beautiful on its own, but you can attach mods to it. But of course, the mods got expensive. And of course, politics plays a lot in the phone game nowadays. Like if Apple had released a modular phone, people would have been all over that. People don't mind spending their money on Apple. But when it comes to other companies, especially with Android, people think that Android is cheap. People think that Android is not as good as Apple. But I beg to differ. Both have their pros and their cons. You kind of just have to choose. A big pro of Apple, of course, is you get updates right away. I'm still waiting for Android 11 on this, which is one of the downsides of this. It's on Verizon as well. This was a Verizon exclusive. Verizon is not notoriously bad for getting the updates, but Verizon has great service for the most part. 5G has not been the best. But for the 10 plus years I've had Verizon, their service has been amazing. So that's why I stick with them. And they've also had the best Motorola devices as well. If I was on any other carrier, I would not have had access to a lot of other best Motorola phones. And that's kind of one of the reasons why a lot of people don't know about Motorola as well. Unless you've been on Verizon, a lot of Motorola's best devices you did not have access to. So hopefully when the next Motorola Edge comes out, it'll be on all the carriers. I'll be so happy for that. And we have the Motorola one, the Moto G100 is what it's going to be called in the States. It's called the Motorola Edge S elsewhere. It has the Edge name, but it does not have the Edge that you see here. And I love this Edge. When this phone first came out, I was like, oh man, why did I have to give it an Edge for? I don't want that, because my last phone with an Edge, the Samsung Edge 7 Plus, was just horrible. Like I wanted to return that phone within like the first week of me having it because of all the touches that were happening. But I haven't had that issue with this phone here. The Edge has been actually beautiful, and I've had times where I'm just like looking at this screen like, damn, like it really just melts to the sides and it's beautiful. Like they really did a lot of work when it comes to this phone, and I really applaud them for that. Lenovo has not messed up Motorola. A lot of people will say, oh, Lenovo has messed up Motorola, but not really. Lenovo's been trying to find their way around it, and at times it looked like they were going to get rid of the Motorola name, but they kept the Motorola name. They kept the Moto name, and that's great. At one point it was Moto, but they brought the whole Motorola back. So I'm glad that they kept it alive. And I knew that 2020 was going to be a comeback year for Motorola. 2020 was the year that they came back with the flagship device, and then with the Motorola Edge S that's coming out, the Moto G100, it having the Snapdragon 870, so it's kind of like a different chipset. I don't know if there's any other devices that are going to have that chipset, but I was thinking in my mind, like I believe we're getting to the point where we're gonna see a Motorola device with a specific type of chipset that you're not gonna see elsewhere. So I might be wrong. Maybe other phones have it, but I know the Motorola One S, I'm just gonna say the Moto G100 is gonna be the phone to have that chipset, and it's an upgraded version of the Motorola, the Snapdragon 865 Plus, and it's a beast. It's been a beast so far, and that phone is priced so well. I believe it sold out in hours when they first came out. I believe it was in India. It just sold out really quickly. So once they bring that here, it's gonna have a great price. It's gonna sell very well. Motorola has a bunch of devices that are very well priced. If you compare them to Motorola devices compared to like Samsung, LG, and things like that, you're gonna get more for the same price with Motorola than you will with the other ones. But yeah, so This phone here has been absolutely amazing in my time of using it. 5,000 milliamp battery. I don't really worry about battery life. One downside, of course, is the 18-watt charging, but the thing is, you're not going to be charging this phone that much. You charge this phone at night, and you're probably not going to even need to charge it during the day. If you have heavy usage, just have a fast charging charger in your car, and you're good. This phone really dies on me. I really don't think about the battery life that much, and if anything, just turn on the battery saver mode and you'll be good. Heavy usage for me, like, I'm a heavy user. I do a lot on my phone. When I work, I use my phone a lot. Even with the 5G, my battery life is still pretty good throughout the day, and I can top it off here and there if I want to. And I play games on it. As you can see, I play Call of Duty. I started playing Fortnite recently. You know, I do a lot of YouTubing. I watch a lot of videos, a lot of YouTube in the background. I listen to a lot of music, YouTube music. Like that's my go-to right there. So it's got a 108 megapixel camera on the back. It's got the macro camera as well as the wide angle camera. All great. I've not had any issues with them. I post pictures on social media. No one ever says my pictures are crap or anything like that. It is a big fingerprint magnet, but you get used to that. I always carry around a microfiber cloth with me anyway. I believe everyone should, just to clean your phone, and carry some like bio wipes too to clean your phone. A lot of our phones are disgusting. We need to be cleaning our phones. I rarely see people cleaning our phones. I work a lot in the retail world and selling phones, you know, and sometimes I have to clean people's phones. I'm just disgusted. Like, what do you never clean your phone? But like, yeah, I keep some wipes with me, and I keep a microfiber cloth with me, and I clean the phone as I go through my day-to-day. This phone, I do not use it with a case. I use it naked for the most part. I have used cases for it. The case that I love for it the most, I would have to say, comes from Poetic. There's a slight downside to that case. I'll link a video to my review for that case below. But it's a case that for me was pretty awesome. As you can see, this phone, I'm not gonna be able to show it in this video, but it can stand on its own. And the Poetic case allows you to keep that. Both of the cases from Poetic, you can still have the phone stand up on its own, and I use it all the time when I'm for my social media, for taking selfies, for recording myself. I don't need a different stand, and I think that's great. This phone is well balanced. And one of the cases, you can have it either vertical or you can have it horizontal, which is great. Like, I love that. But I don't use it with a case. I definitely do not recommend the case from Verizon. I had that case, man, and my first Motorola Edge Plus cracked. Like, it was in the case when it cracked. It cracked 2 different times. The last time it cracked, it was unusable, and it was in the case both times. This time I've used it naked for the most part, and I've dropped it. I've dropped it a lot without the case, and I have some scratches on the screen and everything like that, but the phone has not broken. I have some nicks like here and some nicks here. But this phone, even though it's all screen, it's built well, and it hasn't cracked yet from me dropping it. Not to say that if you get the phone you should drop it. I definitely recommend getting Motorola's insurance or Verizon's insurance. This is still a $1,000 phone. I looked at the price earlier today on Motorola's website. It's still $1,000. And again, why is it $1,000? You're getting a Snapdragon 865. You're getting 5,000 milliamp battery, 108 megapixel camera, stereo speakers, which are amazing. You know, I blow people out of the water. Anybody tries to put their speakers, I'm like, yo, your speaker's crap. Like, listen to this, and they're blown away by how good this sounds. And when I show this to people as well, they're blown away by the look. Like, whoa, what phone is that? And a lot of times they don't even know that Motorola still exists, but they're blown away by this phone, by how it looks. They're blown away by the color. This is the purple sangria. Amazing color. I love it. It just catches people's attention, you know. It's 256 gigabytes of storage. There's no SD card here, but I have not needed, to be honest. I take so many pictures, so many videos. I rarely fill this up, but then of course I use Google Photos to back up all my stuff. And it's got a 25 megapixel front-facing camera, which is also pretty awesome as well, and no issues with that. But like, yeah, I really have no complaints when it comes to using this phone. I use it, I put it away, and I've not run into any issues. Some people have run into issues, and I believe those issues have been fixed by now. When the phone first came out, some people were getting like when the phone was really heating up, you get some like green, purple tints on the screen, and my phone did have that. My first one did, but they released an update right after that, which fixed it. And when it comes to like missed touches because of the edge, I don't really have them. You do have to kind of learn how to use this phone, and once you learn how to use this phone, you can actually use this phone one-handed. And there are other features that make it easier to use one-handed as well. So like if I'm using it with my right hand, I have the little edge thing here. This I actually barely use. You can use it to swipe down. It brings you a notification. One more time, it'll bring it down. And you can swipe from the side. As you can see, I think if I use this more, I know how to use it better, but I don't really use it that much. But you can swipe it, you get a ruler, which actually I did use the ruler at work one time. I was measuring something. And you can do different shortcuts here. I can go straight to YouTube, Google Maps, and this I can actually that's one thing here. You can turn off the edge display. So if you're in an app and you want to turn off the edge display, you can actually just turn it off real quick. As you can see, because I don't use it that much, the muscle memory wasn't there, but now that I've like kind of used to it, I'm getting it every time. But I don't use that feature that much. For me, I'm able to use this phone one-handed on either hand. I just swipe down here to get my notifications, and I'll swipe again to bring it down. So I can do that one-handed. I can shimmy my way up to the top even. So even if I'm not at the home screen, I can still get there. But I have decent sized hands, you know, they're decent. But of course, yeah, I definitely learned. You kind of learn how to hold it. If you look on the side of it, you have a little bit of room to hold. So then your thumbs can rest here. And I play Call of Duty on this, and I'm a beast. Like I have no issues. Like you'd think that the edge would like you have a lot of missed touches. It doesn't really happen. The only time I could see like the edge comes into play and it's a little bit annoying is when I'm doing some photo editing on the phone and I have to like touch the slider all the way to the edge. That can be a little bit annoying, but that's it. And I've kind of found my way around that. So the edge is not annoying for me. It's actually beautiful. I remember one time I was watching something in my car at night. It was pitch black, and then I was just like looking at my phone, and I was just amazed that like because it was pitch black, the black edges here, you couldn't see it, and it was just like my phone was just floating in midair, and I just had all this screen while I was watching Star Wars Mandalorian. So it was just a beautiful experience to just have to be able to watch something on this little screen, but just really be immersive, you know. And you combine that. So yeah, like I was just like watching it. It was fully immersive, and it was just beautiful. I was blown away by the technology. You know, the only things that you see, of course, is the notch, the hole punch for for the front camera, and that's it. That's the only thing that takes you away from the experience. But like, and that's all the way off to the side. So I like the location of it as well. Yeah, so it's fully immersive. The Android 10 navigations are great. You know, navigating this phone is a breeze because of how, you know, if you just need to go back, you just hit the back button. You know, so that's easy. Again, I can get to everywhere I need to get on the screen. Let's go to the Moto application real quick. You know, in the Moto application will let you go through everything that you need to learn about the phone. You can personalize it, so you can do different styles, different wallpapers, different layouts, different fingerprint animations, which is pretty nice. I like the boomerang. You have the chrome dial. I used that for a little while. The radial waves, but the boomerang is definitely my favorite. Again, you could change the different styles, different colors, and all that. You can do different fonts. And you can change the layout, how many apps you want to show up on the screen. I like it where I have it right now. You have Moto Actions, you got Quick Capture, I love that. You have Fast Flashlight, these are things I use all the time. 3-finger screenshot, I use that as well. The Screenshot Toolkit, Samsung I believe was the first to do this. When you take a screenshot, you can edit it right away. Flip for Do Not Disturb, I have that off. But of course, these are useful as well. Use the volume keys to change tracks. That I should have that on. And swipe display. Oh yeah, they changed this. So see apps and split screen by swiping back and forth. I'll turn that on. I actually have not even used that one so much. So swipe your finger back and forth across the screen to see 2 apps on split screen. Back and forth. Try it out. Hey, I like that. You know, I didn't even know about that. But anyways, let's go back to the Moto application. So that's cool. I'm gonna turn all these on. But yeah, of course, you know, quick capture. You can just boom, real quick. And of course, quick capture, you can do it one more time. You go to the front camera, and then flashlight, boom. And as you can see, easy. Like, I'm doing all that one-handed right now, easily. We'll go back. You got quick capture, fast flashlight, what's new, there's tips and tricks, edge display settings, and I think this is probably going to talk to you about the, how when you get a notification, if you have it face down, it'll just show you, so there's no LED, but your phone will light up on the edges, so you'll know that you have a notification, you know that the phone's ringing. Share your power. I haven't used this, but this is pretty awesome. My current Bluetooth headsets, they don't charge wirelessly. If they did, I probably would use this feature some more. Then you got personalized with styles. Of course, we did that already. Better low light photos with night mode. Take a peek. So yeah, I love the Moto app. It just kind of walks you through everything. Edge touch, that's what I have. I have it on right there. That's on the side right there. You can just swipe it. And Moto Game Time, whenever you play a game, you get that little. Actually, let's put a game on real quick. I might do a different video. But I love gaming on this phone. I have had no issues whatsoever, but this is the Moto Game Time. You click it. Don't want it to be too loud. And you can take screenshots. Oh, is this recording? I think this is like a screenshot. But yeah, you can turn off Do Not Disturb. I already have it off, I believe. It's already on. And left and right. I haven't used this that much, but essentially what happens is if you turn it on, you get these little things here at the top, as you can see. Those are your trigger buttons you can use, which is pretty nice. And the last thing is just settings. But if you guys want to see some gaming on this in another video, I can definitely do that for you. And let's go back. And so that's it for the Motorola app. I don't think there's anything else with it, really. Moto display. Oh, Moto display, of course, when the screen is off. I'm not gonna have any notifications, and I have Do Not Disturb on right now, so I'm just gonna say notifications are hidden by Do Not Disturb. But you have your fingerprint sensor rather quickly. You can add different thumbs, different fingers, and it works. I've had no issues with the fingerprint sensor. I kind of know the location by heart now. I never have to think about it. Like you have a lot of space, like as you can see. And then next will be, let's go to the camera real quick. So camera, you have a bunch of different, actually I'm gonna do a different video for the camera. But yeah, so I kind of talked about a lot of the general usage with this phone. Again, this is the kind of phone that you just have it and you don't have to worry about it. That's why I've always loved Motorola. I've tried different carriers, different manufacturers, and there's just more that I have to edit and tweak. I typically do like to have Novo launcher, but I don't have Novo launcher here because Android 10 does not support third-party launchers yet. At least the navigations don't, so it makes the phone very finicky to use if you're using a third-party launcher. So I'm using Google Now launcher, which is great, fine. It's just fine. The fact that Motorola gives you the ability to edit it a little bit, to change the colors, to change the fonts, that gives you some customization, so you're not totally left alone with just a bare bones application. So that's great, and it works fine.